Hey sewing friends, welcome back. It has been a minute and I feel like today's video is going to be kind of like a little catch-up video. I'll go over like what I have been making lately, kind of catch up a little bit about that. But the big thing I want to play catch up on is sharing my 25 for 2025 list with you guys. So it's like kind of it's not like New Year's resolutions exactly, but it's kind of like a broader, lower stakes list of things that I am wanting to accomplish this year. And most of them have to do with like sewing, crafting, and styling. So I'm a bit late to the game, yes, because it's like mid-February now. But I still wanted to share them because they are things I'm kind of hoping to like anchor my like crafting and sewing and stuff and like what I'm doing here on the channel like throughout the year. So similar to like the Make 9, whether or not I actually make the 9 things on there or not, it does kind of serve as like a guide for the coming year. So I am excited to share that with you and then again catch up on the things I've been making. Now January, yeah, went by so weirdly. The first half was just like went by so fast. We had family here, which was amazing and wonderful and exhausting. Then we like recovered from the holidays. Again, like way after the new year, I was still feeling like, yeah, like in a time warp or something. We did some big house improvements, which took up a ton of time and energy. And then only really like in the last week and a half have I had any time or energy to do any sewing and get back on here. So yeah, before I go into my list, I thought I would just really quickly chat through what I've been making. So I'm going to kind of like breeze through the 3 makes that I have to share with you today. I think I will do like a winter makes video next month. So yeah, I consider March 20th to be like the last day of winter. I'm gonna like eke out as much time as I can because I set myself some pretty lofty goals for my winter sewing this year. I think I had 10 garments planned. These 2 were on that list. This is kind of like a wild card, but I had done the Seamwork Design Your Wardrobe course in November, and that's where like you go through like inspiration and intentions and like some practical constraints. So you do like kind of like a brainstormy phase, then you pick a color palette and then your fabrics and your patterns. And the goal is to design like a collection. So not necessarily like a full capsule wardrobe, but to have like the pieces that you make kind of all go together. So I do want to do a video at the end of winter with everything where I will talk through things in more detail and you can see like how things kind of mix and match together and like whether or not they hit the vision that I was going for or not. So for these, I'm gonna kind of just like breeze through them. So I'll start with what I am wearing. This was not in those plans. This was a fabric that I really wanted to include because it definitely went, my mood board was titled Woodsy Winter Glow, and I will put up a little picture. And this was not one of the fabrics that I included because I didn't quite have the right like pattern for it, and I was presented with like a brand collaboration, and when I saw that it was for a shirt dress, I knew this fabric would be perfect, and it definitely fit in like the general vibes of my mood board and like what I was going for my like winter collection of items that I was making this year. So I can't tell you too much about this anyway, but I will share more details when this pattern comes out on March 1st. But it is a shirt dress, which was on my Make 9. The colors and the print definitely go with the Woodsy Winter Glow theme, and I am really happy with this make. I can't wait to share more about it, but for now, this is just kind of like a sneaky little peek. So this make was kind of the like cornerstone piece slash print in my winter wardrobe plans. So I'm really excited that I got this made up, and the fabric is from Atelier Brunette. It is the Lucie Viscose Crepe from, I think, like a couple years ago. And I've had my eye on this fabric for so long. And so when I was shopping in store a couple months ago, it was there and I just like couldn't not get it. So yeah, it ended up being kind of the cornerstone piece. I think they're like, I think of them as like little abstract oranges. There's leaves and then these little orange dots, and orange blossom is like one of my favorite things ever. And I'm gonna say like it works for winter, like orange is a winter fruit, but I think it also could translate to lots of other seasons since it is like such a nice breezy fabric. I will say like this came out exactly as I was hoping. I had like an idea in my mind of what I wanted, but I wasn't really finding a pattern that I was going to be sure would work. I'm really particular about like the shape of skirts. I knew I wanted gathers and an elasticated waist with some belt loops, and I ended up just kind of hacking the Seamwork Meg pattern, which is a dress, but it's one that I love the skirt of the dress. And so I lengthened it, I tweaked the waistband a little bit and added some pockets. And yeah, it came together like exactly as I was hoping for. I was a little bit nervous about it, but yeah, it looks really good layered up like with tights and boots, but I think it will be really cute in the summer as well. So I think I'm gonna get lots of wear out of this one, and I am so excited that it finally came out of the like works in progress section of my sewing area and is now all done. So the last make I have to share with you was actually my first make. So this is my first make of 2025. It is the Forget Me Not Sylvie top. Now, I made some hacks to this to make it long sleeve. The pattern comes with like a flutter sleeve or a sleeveless option, but I love this cowl neck and this yoke detail so much that I decided I would snip the leaf, swap the sleeve off of the iris pattern. So that one comes with like a pleated sleeve and a straight sleeve. So I did that one and lengthened it, and I'm so happy with this little combination. I think it is really cute and fun. It feels like a super easy t-shirt. It just like, it's really comfy and cozy. It's a bamboo cotton jersey, so it's just really like soft. It's slinky, but it's not clingy. And I really like that cotton bamboo combination. And yeah, this like cowl yoke, I think adds a lot of like texture in the way that it kind of like waves over the chest a little bit. Like it's looking really stiff just now, but like on the body, it's really nice. And I like the yoke detail too. So I had done a video in, I think like October or November, about replacing my like long sleeve t-shirts that I live in all winter with something that is like a little bit more elevated. Yeah, all of my t-shirts were looking like they were in bad shape anyway, plus they were like very boring. So this has like all of the ease and comfort of a t-shirt. Like it goes with everything. It's really easy to wear, but has just like a little something special. So I'm very excited to finally have made this up. Again, it was in like, I've had the idea of it for months. And so finally actually getting it like on the cutting table and sewn up feels really, really good. So I wanted to share with you guys my 25 for 2025. This is kind of a menu style list for the year that I really like doing. I did it back in 2023, and I found that it was like a really good balance for me of getting that like little push that I need to actually do the things I want to do without feeling like stifled or like pigeonholed into a plan. Yeah, it's a really delicate balance for me, but I found it worked really, really well. And I didn't do it last year and I kind of missed it. So I wanted to for sure do it again this year, even though again, I was like a little bit late to the year, I feel. And I thought I would share it with you. So I initially heard about the 25 for 2025 back in 2023 from Theresa of Lost My Thread, and she's done one, I think every year since, and not only does she like do it for herself, she also shares it on YouTube and then does like monthly updates. I don't know if I will go that far, but as I was doing mine for this year, I realized a lot of them were kind of like sewing, crafting, personal style, you know, so the stuff that's on my channel anyway. So I thought I would share those. I am going to put like all the first ones. I've like lumped all of the sewing, crafting stuff in at the front, and then the like latter half is more like personal stuff. So you can definitely like check out if you are just here for the sewing. But yeah, so I thought I would share those. So here is my little list in my journal. Now it's like very organized now, like by categories, but when I started this exercise, I just kind of gave myself like, I think like 45 minutes to an hour to just like write down things I'm hoping for, things that I like. And from there, sort of whittled it down, yeah, not only by category, but also like by attainability and by stakes. So I wanted stuff that to put on this list that if I didn't check it off, it wouldn't be such a big deal. Like I wouldn't be too sad about it. But at the same time, is maybe like one of those things where it is attainable, but I maybe just need like that little extra push, that little extra like dopamine rush of checking something off. Having it written down like gives me that like motivational push to actually do it, because sometimes like I might really like something, but just let like life and things get in the way. So that is what I have now. So I'm going to start with my like style, sewing and crafting goals, and then I have some home goals and my monthly goals. So those ones are not like just a one check off, but like where I'm hoping to meet that goal or do the thing one time every month throughout the year. So starting with sewing, styling, and craft goals, my first one is to read 3 style books. So I have a couple here. I'm working through the Curated Closet and the Curated Closet Workbook right now, and I am loving it. My partner got me 100 Years of Fashion. This is more of like a lookbook a couple years ago, and it's just really great for looking at like vintage inspiration. And yeah, I'm kind of on a journey to see like what do I actually like, and how much of what I like is because I like it, and how much of it is it like because that's just like what's in front of me all the time. So having like a history, it's not a history book, but like a look back over history and to get kind of a wider breadth, I think could be really fun. So these are the 2 that I'm looking at right now. I also want to get my hands on David Kibbe's new book. I think it's called The Power of Style. Style of Power. Yeah. He's really great. He has come up with kind of like a style, like a set of style archetypes that are body neutral and body positive, which is like pretty rare in the like fashion style world. So I've been really curious to read that book for a while. So that is goal number 1, to read 3 style books at some point this year. And like, yeah, maybe I will, I mean, I'm almost done with Curated Closet, but maybe I'll find other things. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Number 2 is to make a bridesmaid's dress. This is a thing that I will already be doing. So I am in a wedding in July, so I will be starting the like toiling process for what I want to wear to the wedding pretty soon. I will say that one's not quite low stakes because I do actually need to have a bridesmaid's dress to wear to the wedding. I guess if I don't make it, that's not the end of the world, but I do really want to. Number 3 is to de-stash some fabrics. I desperately need to clear my stash a little bit. I've been feeling kind of overwhelmed with how much fabric I have. The trouble is I have plans for all of my fabrics. Like I'm definitely someone, I buy fabric with a plan, but I can't sew all the plans at the rate that I was buying them. I've slowed down a lot, and I am really proud of how much I curbed my fabric spending last year, but I still have like a lot in my stash. I do need to like let go of some. Number 4 is to sew a zip fly. I talked about that quite a bit last fall, of like a hurdle that I just like need to get over. So I put it down, it's happening. Number 5 was to sew a proper collar. Now I can check that off with my collar and my collar stand here. So I had made the list before I made this dress, but I can check one off already. Number 6 is to try jacket fitting. I'm not saying that it's going to be a success. I'm not, my goal isn't necessarily to get through the process, but at least start the process. Number 7 is to use a paper pattern. I mostly work with PDFs, but I have like a small collection of paper patterns and they kind of just like end up getting ignored. So I want to make a plan to actually use at least one of these this year. Number 8 is to make a non-garment item. So this could be like home decor or possibly a bag. So that is number 8. Number 9 is a 10 by 10 wardrobe challenge. And I even put in like, should I do this quarterly? This definitely fits into my wanting to put more creativity in how I am dressing, as much as like I'm putting in for like the individual garments that I'm making, but actually to style them in new and creative ways. So I heard about the 10 by 10 challenge again from Theresa of Lost My Thread. She did one this fall and it was so fun. She documented everything and I really wanted to join in and I tried and I realized that was my like the point where I realized my autumn winter wardrobe was like not working for me at all. I did not have very much cohesion. A lot of the pieces like either didn't fit me right or I wasn't liking them or they felt really boring. And it's actually what like spurred me on to my capsule wardrobe plans that I'm like currently working through. So it's a really great process and I really liked watching her do that and seeing how much like more creativity she got by putting limitations. So I didn't say this, but it's where you pick 10 garments or 10 items from your wardrobe and that's what you have to wear for 10 days. So by like putting those limits on, it kind of eliminates the overwhelm that I think a lot of us feel like when we open our closet and like can't decide what to wear. And it also like forces some creativity because you have to, for 10 days, figure out like different new ways to wear things. So I'm really excited to be able to look at that. I guess I will say that I tried it in October. It just was not successful, except that I learned a lot. That I learned a lot wasn't working for me and now I'm like working to remedy that. So I might do that quarterly. We will see. What I do want to do quarterly, or at least like 4 times this year, ideally spaced out, but you know, we'll see, is to refashion, alter, or somehow improve an existing garment that I have. Number 11 is to complete 2 cross-stitch projects. So I completed my first cross-stitch project in December and just fell in love with it and I've really been enjoying. I got a new kit that I started in January and I'm just like slowly working towards that. I feel like 2 it is doable for me. So yeah, I started this one. I'll pop in a picture of the kit. It's from Rico Designs. It's super cute. I'm working my way through the window panes right now, getting that all set up, and then I'll get started working on the plants. So I'll finish that one, you know, in the next couple of months, I guess. We'll see. And then hopefully I'll do another one at some point this year. And number 12 is to sort out my shoes. So I have so many shoes and most of them I do not wear and most of them are uncomfortable. So I need to like take a hard look and actually part with a bunch of them and then do some exploration to find what shoes are actually comfortable for me and that like fit style I'm wanting. So those are my style goals that I'm going to be working on this year. The next section is home goals. Now I kept these like pretty broad, but we've lived in our house. It is a rental, but we've lived here for 6 years and like have not done very much like personalization to it. And we've definitely like come to the conclusion like we will be here for a while. So it's time to kind of like actually make the place our own and make it feel a bit more homey. Again, pulling like some of the creativity that I put into designing sewing projects and that kind of thing into like other areas of my life. I feel like I'm a very artsy person and my house does not reflect that at all. So number 13 is hang some art. Print and frame some family photos. 15 is paint a room. Just one to start with. They all need it, but like keeping it attainable, paint a room. Install nicer lighting in a room. Number 16 or 17, make the kitchen organization work for me. Our kitchen is like a bit weird. Again, it's attainable, but it's gonna definitely take some like time, effort, and focus. It is an important one. Number 18 is to track my personal spending. I did really well with this the first half of last year, literally recording every single purchase that was for me. So like we do like a broader budget, but it was really helpful for me to see not just like when things came out of like my personal fund or whatever, but to actually like itemize and see what those things are and how much I was spending was really great. So I fell off around July, so I'm kind of like recommitting and trying it again this year. Number 19 is to switch banks. It's a thing that just like has to happen, but I hate admin. So I put it on here to hopefully like, it's not that hard. You just have to sit down and do it. Okay, next are my monthly goals. And so number 20 is to set a personal best at the gym every month. Now, a personal best sounds maybe pretty lofty, but it doesn't have to be a personal best by very much. Or it could be just like a new exercise that when you do it for the first time, that's a new record. So it's just something to keep me going. I use the Heavy app to track things. And when I do get a new personal best, I get like a little digital medal and it makes me so happy. So I still obviously like most important thing is to prioritize my health and to not push myself too far. But I do want to set some kind of new personal best at the gym every month. Number 21 is to try a new recipe every month. So in January, we made a coffee cake. And then last weekend in February, I made a upside down blood orange olive oil cake. Both of those were from Claire Seyfitz's first book, Dessert Person. Yes, I will link it below because it's a wonderful cookbook. I really, really love it. And I've had it for quite a while. And I'm not going to say that like I'm only going to make recipes out of that book, but my first two were from there and it has been really fun to explore more. So number 22 is to get outside, have some nature focused time, whether that is like going on a hike. In January, our only like nature time was going to the zoo. So I know it's like kind of a stretch, but I'm gonna count it. So some kind of outside nature oriented activity. In a similar vein, number 23 is something art focused. So that could be going to a museum or a concert. It could be like a show. It could also be a workshop. So yeah, I could go like observe somebody else's art or like go do something artsy for myself, but it does have to be like out of the house. Number 24 is a board game. My partner and I love playing like board games and card games, but again, it's just a thing that it's so easy to fall off. And so having the like reminder to do it monthly really helped. So we did this in 2023 and in 2024. And it just is like that little extra push to make it happen. And number 25 is the last one, and that is to read 2 books a month. And that is, I can read more than that if I want to, but looking back at last year, I was like, oh, I read too many books, which is a weird thing to say, but it was really indicative of my health, especially like the month I broke my rib. Like I read a lot of books, like too many books that month. So I want to read less books, but I still want to do reading. And I think I read 5 books in January and I'm on my second book for February. So that is like a good all around goal that feels attainable, but still like has a lot of freedom in there. I had a goal last year of reading 4 nonfiction books in the year, and I only like barely made that. So I was like, oh, do I put that one on again? I decided not to, but I do want to get some, I'm hoping I get some more nonfiction in there, but I'm not gonna like hold myself to it. So those are my goals for 2025. It feels a bit silly to be talking about them like we're almost to March. Like we're almost, wow, that's really kind of scary. Like we're almost 2 months into the year. But all the more reason to be like getting into the swing of things. And I will say that even if I'm like late to the goal setting process, I do really find it is like such a centering process for me and really helps me like feel more present. So yeah, the timing is a little bit silly, but I am really glad that I like did that step. It's the same thing with Make 9. Even if I don't actually like get the things done, I always learn something. But I will say like I'm doing pretty good on it this year, having made the 3 things that I have made so far in the year have all been things that were on my Make 9. So that I'm hoping is like a good feeling for the rest of the year. We'll see. But again, this list is more just like things that I like. And if I don't check them off, it's okay. But yeah, that is probably all for me today. I think I talked way more than I had planned to. I forgot to take my ADHD meds. So extra rambly video today. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, but I will go now because I have talked myself tired, and we'll hopefully see you back again next time. Let me know, yeah, if you are interested in like maybe a quarterly update on my 25 for 25. And also if you guys are interested in like a review on the Curated Closet, the book and the workbook, as they're not sewing specific, but they are, yeah. Sewing for me, I'm trying to like broaden it out from just like the process of making a single garment to kind of viewing my whole wardrobe like as a creative process. And so I'm kind of, that's my goal with like reading the style books and like why I've done Design Your Wardrobe with Seamwork. I also have just gotten on to Index. That is a like wardrobe sorting app for the phone, where you can like see everything and track what you're wearing. So that's been really fun. I will put my profile below. So if you are on Index, you can find me if you want to. It's not like a social app exactly, but it is kind of fun to like peruse through friends' closets and things. So yeah, if you are interested in like that kind of style conversation, let me know, because yeah, I'm getting a lot out of it, especially like out of these books, and also out of the app, surprisingly. I didn't go in with many expectations, but I've been really happy with it so far. So yeah, let me know. And of course, always let me know what you are sewing or knitting, crocheting, all of that. I love to, yeah, like live a little bit vicariously through what you are sewing and what you're excited about. So hit me up either in the comments below, or you can go find me on Instagram. Yeah, so until next time, happy sewing, happy making. Bye.